changed our world, then left us without warning. They will return the day when they are needed. Our gaze is shifted upwards to the sky.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and the Club73 Media Day here at Donington Park. Alex Simpson here with Sam Fitzpatrick. Sam, welcome. First time we've worked together. Should be an interesting night. And yeah, Media Day today, Season 3 of the Club73 Touring Car series here. And got a little bit of a change to how everything's was for Season 1 and Season 2. Most notably is the introduction of a third car.
Yeah, the Ford Mustang. Great addition to the series, and I think really good contrast to the other two cars, of course, American, and will fit very well with the VW and the Kia that remain in the series this season.
Now, obviously, I've covered the Mustang in a couple of series. So, but most notably, the one that we do is the Rikmatech Sports Car series, and they run the Mustang an awful lot there. It's their sort of like their quickest car in their sort of series that they run. Now, taking a little look out there, obviously we've got a few drivers running it tonight. Michael Hall's currently leading the way on the qualifying for this one. Reasonable turnout, so good sort of split grid, considering we were only on the media day, 21 cars and good little split. So, but it's fitting in bang in the middle of the two classes. So far, Mark Woodhouse's pole position with the Kias on a 1:11. The Mustangs 1:16 and a 1:19 for the Jettas. So it really does, fits bang on in the middle. I wasn't too sure where it would be. I think some tracks it might be a bit quicker. I'm not quite sure how it's going to fare in straight line performance against the Kia. I think it's going to be pretty close, actually.
Yeah, you'd think because of course the drivetrain on the Kia, on the Ford is very good, whereas the VW, for example, has got much less power. So maybe when we go to kind of more tracks with more straights, perhaps the Ford will be a bit more competitive, but certainly around here the Kia seems to have maybe 5 seconds over the Ford.
Yeah, it's looking at that at the minute.
But it's quite good actually. It has fitted in right in the middle. There seems to be no overlap between the drivers, which is always good to see. Otherwise, you kind of lose it can get a bit messy out there. But it seems to fitted in perfectly in the middle.
Of course, the Mustang does run sort of like a semi sort of road racing tyre. It's not sort of not slick or anything like that. So it's kind of more like a sports road tyre, which is does compromise its performance through the corners somewhat. So it's a bit of a handful for the drivers to get used to. So be interesting to see how they do with it as the season progresses. Andrew Whitehead in his boosted car just coming out of the pit lane. I have to say I did spot that one earlier on. Done another cracking job on the livery of that. Looks quite nice.
Yeah, it certainly does. It seems to be a really good grid actually of forwards. Like we got Michael Hall, Lewis Beerby, two very quick guys, and it's great to see like there's certainly interest in the car. And hopefully, if anything, it'll attract new people to the series, which would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what it's also done with some of the quicker guys from last season moving over to this car, it opens the door for a potential new champion in the Kia as well. So let's not forget the Jetta. Obviously, the Jetta returning might be the slowest of the cars out there, but still needs a lot of love. Alexis Molina's currently with the sitting on the pole position. Stephen Dawson in second. But yeah, that grid looks quite close at the moment as well. So a few more cars when we get into the actual event. I think that could be quite an exciting championship as well. Might be a bit tough for us to keep up with it all now with these three different classes going on.
Yeah, it might do. Of course, like few more, one more class, and the VW is actually very quick, as you said. Like only 3/10 between the top four guys at the moment, and hopefully those guys, of course, will do the entire series, and we should have a very competitive championship in that. And in fact, all the classes are very close. Like you see, the top two in the Kias, only a couple of hundredths between them, and then the Ford's very close as well, so it's looking very competitive right now.
Yeah, Sam Reed currently sat second place in the Kias, like you say, just a couple of hundredths. So all the way down to 7th place in the 1 minute 11s for the Kias. So very, very close there. All but one of the Mustangs are in the 1 minute 16s. Or I say, sorry, that's two actually. Chris White hasn't put a lap in at all yet. And the Jettas are separated by 1.6 seconds, the whole grid. So it's pretty close actually out there. And I think once the draft starts to kick in as well for all of these cars, it makes quite a difference. The Mustang gets a good sort of half a second a lap from being tucked up in the draft. I know the Kia can be more than that in some places, as can the I think probably the Jetta is probably the weakest one with the draft. You don't get huge amounts, but you still get some. So I think all three packs could be quite interesting today.
Yeah, of course the Mustang like punches a big hole in the air, which of course it increases the draft effect, but the VWs, like we said earlier, would not just so close anyway. I don't think the draft is even going to be that necessary for close racing. Then the Kias, of course, always very close out there.
Just 6 seconds to go then till the official time is up in qualifying here. Just give us an idea of perhaps what we're going to look forward to for the rest of the season. Stephen Dawson did manage to get through, so he's got to find himself. He needs 0.3 of a second if he's going to get pole position. And yes, we'll stay with him for the rest of this lap, as we're always halfway through. Donington circuit, we're only running the national layout today, so no sort of final hairpin sections. And yeah, we cut through at the chicane to the finish line. Always a tricky layout actually, because you've really got to commit everything through that final chicane to get the lap in, and massive high curb. So I'm sure we'll see a few people take to two wheels going through there today.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's going to be the racing line, in fact. So it's going to be very difficult to that final chicane.
What does Dawson get as he crosses the line? Is it an improvement? It is! Takes pole position right in the death as well. First driver into the 18s with an 18.999.
Yeah, pulled that one out of the bag, didn't he? Yeah, last minute, but yeah, got pole by 1.5 tenths in the end. So very good lap there from Stephen.
Yeah, quality stuff. Would you mind just taking us through the grid? I know we've got a couple of guys just still finishing their lap, but so we get an idea.
Yes, so on pole for the Kias is Mark Woodhouse, followed by Sam Reed, Pete Howard, Ian Roskell, Dennis Melchurch, Chris Woods, Sean Gardner, Tristan Bodice, David Crozier, and Gavin Wakefield in the Kias.
Yeah, Hall has got the pole position in the Mustangs, and one thing I can see that we need to do is we need to add the class stripe for the Mustang into the overlay for next week. So Lewis Bibby was second, followed by Andrew Whitehead, and Atkinson was next. If you just bring us through the Jetters.
Stephen Dawson on pole for the Jetters, Alexis Molina in second, Steve Hooper in third, then Adam Hedgecock, Robert Lundgreen, and Ian King rounding out the field.
Very much, mate. Yeah, Chris White didn't set a time, did he, in the end? So he'll be taken to the grid. Sure, he wouldn't have carried any penalty over from last season. Standing start then. Should be a bit interesting. So still think the relative powers of the car should pull them all apart. Mustang gets away pretty well, but quite used to doing a rolling start in the Mustang, as it's normally done in the, I think it's the Continental Tire Championship that it used to race in, which I know was a rolling start.
Yeah, we could see a few Fords mixing it with the Kias going to the first few corners if they do get off the line quick, so that's something to watch out for.
Deliveries aren't showing, guys. Do remember to speak to the admins. Make sure you get it added to the paint pack, so we can get that done. And also, if your name's not showing with the country flag or anything like that, speak to them and we can get that added as well.
Green, green, green.
Here we go then. Media Day is away for the Club 73 touring car here at Donington Park. Everybody seems to have got off the line well. Who was that on the outside? And Woodhouse didn't get the best of starts at all. He's somewhat swamped around the outside. He's lost the lead. Sam Reed takes that. Great start. And Michael Hall maintains the lead in the Mustangs. Actually, the Jetters are very close to the Mustangs, so they're not that far down on power off of the line, which is was quite interesting. So much closer, that gap, isn't it, between the Jetters and the Mustangs than it is between the Kias. But yeah, great little snake going through the opening laps. Reed holds on to the lead from Woodhouse and Pete Harrod in third.
Oh, I think we might have an issue here for Stephen Dawson. He's just dropped right back and he's coming to a halt, I think. So, yeah, that's not good for Stephen Dawson at all.
Pretty easy to get a slowdown here at Donington, especially through the old hairpin. I think that's probably what he's had there. And there's a couple other people slow on the inside as well. You can cut that corner at Coppice there as well. Get yourself a slowdown, and it's quite clear that's exactly what's happened. Reed under pressure from Pete Harrod. I think Harrod's been able to get the lead here around the outside. Good move. Moves himself to the front. And down through the S's and into the old hairpin. Everybody safely through there, no issues. So have lost Gavin Wakefield in the first lap. I don't know what that was about, but he seems to be stationary out there right now.
I think another move actually for the lead here. Pete had trying to go for the lead against Sam Reed. Not quite working out, but this is just going to go on probably till the end of the race. I can't see any of these guys pulling away from one another. So just should be interested to see if they try to work together, perhaps pull away as a group, or whether they just go for overtakes every single lap and just go for proper racing out here.
Tristan Bodice and Sean Gardner were side by side as well going into the chicane. They've been able to settle themselves down, but now ahead of them it's Ian Roskell and Chris Wood. So Chris did take to the start after all, and but he just formed up at the back of the Kia pack, but now he's working his way through, having a bit of fun out there, I think, trying to come through, but trying to go around the outside of the old hairpin, not easy, very easy to get pushed off wide. Doesn't happen this time. But yeah, good racing between the two of them right now. Samurai still very, very close to Howard. Woodhouse clearly the thinkers, the favourite to try and move forward, put in on pole position. Oh, this is a great little battle further back. We will cut to some of the other classes in a second. But yeah, 0.2 of a second apart. Trouble with the Kia, it's always hard to pull away from the Kia because there's so much good battling going on out there.
Yeah, definitely. Our eyes are certainly glued to it. But Ian Ruskell, like on this lap, has had to do a lot of defensive work.
Just seeing a mistake out there. Lewis Bibby come out of Coppice. Got major, sorry, it wasn't Bibby, it was Hall. Got major moment coming out there. The car was squirming around all over the place. He lost 2 places to Andrew Whitehead and Lewis Bibby. So, yeah, those guys through. Chris White further back. He's some 10 seconds back. So, lap times are not that bad, but actually starting to hold up the Jetta field, which is what we kind of thought we wouldn't see. Mixed in with the Jettas as well, you've got Stuart Atkinson. He's running sort of 119s out there at the moment. So, yeah, right in the middle of the Jettas. So, yeah, this will be interesting. This is not what the Jettas wanted, really. They just wanted to have a clean run. But Hooper pulling away. Molina in second. Yeah, he's got a bit of a buffer to the cars ahead of him, and having to go round. Who was that? I think that was Atkinson up the inside, forcing Hooper a little bit wide through the old hairpin, so moving his way through.
Yeah, these slowdowns really caused mayhem with the Cadillac, with the Mustangs. So they're going to have to come through the VWs.
What it was it White and Atkinson that got the slowdowns on that first lap?
Yes, I think so, yeah. I think White got one quite recently, like on the last lap, which dropped him really far down. But yeah, I think Atkinson got his on the first lap, and he's actually going for a move now on Chris White. Yeah,
got a great run out of the chicane. This race is flying by. We're only 9.5 minutes to go as well. Just a little sprint. Of course, we are back for another race after this one. 2 races, longer one, that 1.5 hour one, with a mandatory pit stop be thrown in there to boot. But yeah, Bibby and Whitehead also very close, so just doesn't matter what class you're looking at the moment. The gaps are pretty close. Oh, major for Bibby there as well. Got himself all crossed up on the exit. Holds on to it. Doesn't lose any time. Something we see a lot in the Ricmatech series, that you get just a bit of understeer in this car going in. You try and apply the gas to see if you can't get the loud pedal to help it turn, and it snaps on you pretty quickly. Yeah, unlike Hall, Bibby was able to hold on to it. What's going on at the front at the Kias at the minute, Sam?
Well, I think Mark Woodhouse managed to get the move on Sam Reed on that last lap, and he's actually pressuring Pete Howard already, so Woodhouse looking really good right now. These front 3 seem to have pulled away a little bit from the rest of the pack. Tristan Bodice having to do a bit of defensive work at the moment against Chris Wood, but the front 3 seeming to pull away right now with 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's funny because Bodice's last lap, he was actually quicker than the front guys, so yeah, it must have been all the battling that's going on out there. Really, is what's causing them to split. And talking about battling, Wood having a little look on Bodice going into the chicane, decides to pull back into the racing line. Not going to go for it there, but oh, he tries to nail the absolute exit there. Gets serious amounts of understeer. Now, one thing with Kia, it doesn't really get affected too much by the grass, so you can still go pretty quick on there. He didn't lose any real time. Couldn't capitalise on the run he got. But yeah, so he maintains 5th place. Stuart Atkinson, he's around, coming. Oh, where's he going? I think this is just before Coppice. He must have hit the wall there as well, so he's dropping down. It's like he's struggling just a little bit out there.
Yeah, it must have been quite a heavy impact. He seems to have just lost it on the Yeah, on the exit of the corner and smashed into the wall, and that might be his race done, unless that Mustang is incredibly strong. Do you know if it's good?
Yeah, it's not
Hang on.
too bad. They do get a fast repair as well, don't they? So for tonight, I think
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
mentioned it. So I'm not 100% sure, and we'll have to confirm with the stewards whether or not that's going to follow through to the actual series. But certainly on the media day, there's a fast repair out there. Top 3 in the Mustangs, separated by 0.7 of a second at the moment. But actually, we need to go to the very, very front because Woodhouse trying to go around the outside into turn 1. Is he going to manage to pull this off? He'll get good drive off of there. He's still side by side. Don't hit each other, guys. Oh, so close. As long as we'll get the high ground now, coming down the hill and into the old hairpin. Oh, it's so tricky to get through there. Too wide. They
Oh,
leave
he
each
may
other
have
just
got it,
enough
actually.
room. That's great driving.
Yeah, still side by side, been side by side for a few corners actually, and even Sam Reed wants to get involved in this. He wants to pick up at least one. Oh dear, and they've made contact there. And Pete Howe can pull away Sam Reed up into second place for now, but he's just let the position back to Mark Woodhouse there.
Good, honest, fair
slightly
driving there from
yeah,
Sam.
took the blame.
Don't see that very often, do you? There's a bit of sportsmanship out there. So
Yeah, good to
yeah,
see.
good driving from him. That's somewhat released Harrod now, 1.6 seconds clear. Let's see if these guys can close him back in. Final 5 minutes of the race. It has let Bodice and co get a little bit closer, but to be honest, Bodice has got his hands so full with Chris Wood right now that he's I think he's more worried about what's going on behind Wood and Ian Roskell. Wow, look at that going into, oh my word, 3 wide as they were going into turn 1. Where's that going to pan out? Bodice hoping his teammate can get in there and help him out, and he has done in just that. So Ian Roskell moves himself up and into 5th position. Lightens the pressure that he's getting from behind. I've got a little bit of a back marker in front of him. Is that Dennis Melcher? No, it's not. Who is that? Or who that is?
Sean Gutt? No, sorry.
It was Ian King, sorry.
Actually, has Andrew Whitehead taken the lead off Lewis Bibby there?
Yeah, Bibby must have made some sort of mistake. He's 5 seconds behind now, so we missed that one. And I hate to say it, but we also missed the lead in the lead change in the Jetta as well, because Alexis Molina leads the way by 0.3 of a second from Steve Hooper. So not sure where that happened with. Maybe a bit of traffic or something like that. But yeah, Bibby making that mistake on... It must have been on this lap, I think. Let's see if I can just knock it back and see if we can find a replay.
Yeah, and actually the Kias are actually going to be coming through these two very soon, and they're not exactly going to let the Kias go by easily, so this is going to be quite
wow, they were
interesting.
3 wide. Oh wow, that is exactly what happened. So 3 wide into turn 1. The Mustangs. Bibby was right in the middle. Just got the he was the filling in the sandwich there, and just got muscled out of it. I'm afraid a little bit sideways. Managed to catch the car mostly, but yeah, it's dropped him down just a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's just lost another position there to Michael Hall, so going to be difficult to get the win from here, but I think there's going to be a couple more moves in these remaining couple of laps.
Hooper looking racy right now, wanting the lead back in the Jettas. So got a good run out of the final chicane, got some traffic to deal with, and yeah, it's quite a time difference between these cars at the moment. Oh well, that surely should give him the position, as Molina makes a big mistake with the traffic there, still trying to get back on circuit while Hooper's pretty clear, and yeah, back into the lead of this race. So how quickly the traffic can turn things around with the multi-class racing, and exactly what's just happened there.
Yeah, definitely, and compromise the Kias a little bit as well, but they're right back close actually in the at the top of the sorry, at the top of the Kias. Only 1.2 seconds separates in the top 3, so that's going to be very tight to the end now.
Whitehead under an obscene amount of pressure. Here comes Hall. He made that mistake earlier on. He's trying to get the race lead back. Late braking up the inside. Turn 1 at Donington really does open that up to do that. And Bibby's caught up with these guys straight away as well because they've been battling. So that was nearly 5 seconds in the course of, 2 laps? So incredible couple of laps for Lewis Bibby out there. But Hall is up and through. Whitehead gets a much better run out of Old Hairpin.
He might just fancy his chances on the inside here. They do not want contact again, and he thinks better of it, but yeah, he's just lining up the move here, probably to the last chicane, and that's the main braking. Oh, and he nearly loses it there. That was Andrew Whitehead, but he's still right on the back of these guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was in the Kia trying to get involved at that particular point in time, but yeah, that was the worst possible timing for Bibby. I'm just shocked to see the Kia just fly past these cars like that down that straight. 3 of them, no problem. For anybody who gives the Kia a bit of a bum deal, it actually is quite a quick car when you see it like that. You know, that's Korean power taking on American muscle right there. Alright, what do we got left? 25 seconds on the clock. And Pete Harrod is... well, Mark Woodhouse has just lost a place. I think that might be a slowdown. But Harrod only has a 0.6 of a second lead, so this will be the final lap as they've just exited turn 1.
Yeah, I wonder if Woodhouse got something up his sleeve here. He seems a little bit too far back, to be honest, to make the move on this final lap. But he'll give it his all. In fact, he's got to look behind to Sam Reed because he's right on his... Actually, sorry, no, Sam Reed crosses ahead. So.
Yeah, there was... I think he had some sort of slowdown or something coming across the line because he had to concede that place to Sam. And yeah, I think Sam's going to be just too far back now to make anything, especially with the short national circuit. So I think Harrod's going to come across and win the opening race of the media day. Won't count... won't celebrate yet for him because I've cursed people in worse fashion, I tell you. Make sure we get a good exit through here. Doesn't get any slowdowns or anything like that. Yeah, avoids taking too much of the curb. It's home and dry, and Woodhouse desperately trying to get back past Reed, but can't quite do it. Chris Wood and Tristan Bodice side by side through the chicane. Who's going to get that one? To be honest, that looks like Wood all the way. It is indeed. Very, very close. Whitehead and Hall very, very close. Where is Hooper? Hooper's coming across the line right now. Yeah, he takes the win from Molina. Molina, that mistake just a couple of laps ago really, really cost him. But it's all about the Mustangs. Look at these 3, so close as they round. Whereabouts is that? Is that coming out of? It's just just going into Coppice now. Bibby desperate to try and get a good exit here, get that position back. I think he's going to do it. Hall looks pretty good. Definitely got slightly better run out of the corner there. And Bibby just giving Whitehead a little tap from behind under the brakes. But I think all 3 of them are going to stay exactly where they are. Indeed, Hall takes the victory in the Mustangs with Whitehead just a couple of tenths of a second behind him. And yeah, Bibby right on his tail as well.
Yeah, fantastic race from those 3. Andrew very happy with the race that they put on there, and yeah, that was very entertaining from those 3.
I have to say, Sam, I think if that's the kind of racing we're going to get for the rest of the season, or as close as that in all 3 classes, it's going to be a lot of fun for us to cover this.
Yeah, definitely, and we're not even halfway through this round either, so yeah, still a lot of action in store for this series.
Right, do you want to take us through the final results, and I will get us ready to get into the next session.
Yeah, so Pete. So in the Kias we got Pete Harrod taking the win today. Sam Reed in 2nd place. Mark Woodhouse in 3rd. Then we got Chris Wood, Tristan Bodice, Sean Gardner, Ian Roskell, David Cozier, and Dennis Melchart, and then also Gavin Wakefield as well. In the Mustangs, we got Michael Hall, Andrew Whitehead, Lewis Bibby, Chris White, and then Stuart Atkinson rounding out that field. And in the VWs, we got Steve Hooper taking the lead, taking the win. Sorry, Alexis Molina in second place, Stephen Dawson in third, Adam Hedgecock, Robert Lundgreen, and Ian King rounding out the field.
Very much for that, mate. Yeah, good opening little race tonight. I think we're going to be about a 10-minute break before we get back into the next session. But yeah, perfect example, I think, of what the series is going to be like for this one. We'll be back, like I say, 10 minutes time. It's a 30-minute race. We've got one forced sort of mandatory pit stop where drivers, I believe, will have an option to take fuel and tyres or just fuel. Could make some strategy choices quite interesting. We'll wait and see on that front. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back very, very soon here on Apex Racing TV.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides it into 4, who's gonna be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Nick Candy, what a move! Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
They will return that day when they are needed. Our gaze is shifted upwards to the sky. From far away they came to us with knowledge. They changed our world and left us without warning. They will return that day when they are needed. Our gaze is shifted upwards to the sky.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and the Club73 Season 3 Media Day here at Donington Park. Alex Simpson and Sam Fitzpatrick. Sorry, brain feels like it's been fried. We've been away for so long. I'm sure the guys will get that sorted out for the next race. This is why we have the Media Day, just to work out all the little bugs and nuances with new procedures and whatnot. So, but yeah, it took a little while to get the session back up, Sam. But we're finally back in.
Yeah, and we should have a fantastic race coming up. The race earlier on was it was just carnage, really. Yeah, we couldn't keep up with everything that was going on. There was just moves going on left, right, and centre. Just every position, it seemed, in every class was always up for a fight. So should be a very good race this, and it costs double the length, so it's going to be hopefully double the action.
Yeah, well, the last one did fly by, so yeah, it should just do that, and hopefully the pit stops will just, there's some strategy into the game as well. So we'll see how that pans out. The worst thing I always hate when there's like these mandatory pit stops is that people come in, they do exactly the same pit stop. You know, it's like no tires, you know, absolute minimal fuel or something like that, or just a stop and go kind of thing. You know, it's like, yeah, what's the point? So we'll wait and see if it's like a fuel restriction, you know, and they've got like a tiny little window that they can make it on. Just forces everybody to do exactly the same thing. So hopefully we'll have a bit of variety out there, and it can mix it up and keep us guessing.
Yeah, and whatever happens, like it's still quite a big decision what lap to come into the pits, and also you gotta predict the traffic. If you can pit a couple of laps early, dodge the traffic, you could gain some positions. So yeah, a lot of strategy going to come into this, but I'm sure we won't have a runaway winner. I'm sure it's going to be very close to the end.
Right, the warm-up session has come to a finish. Waiting for there's a few people missing as well, and I think we've probably lost 3, maybe 4 people. I think 3 people, which is going to have been just a delay in getting things up and running. And of course, just a reminder to everybody, this is just the media day, so it's just them just getting everything prepped ready for the season. No points or anything like that. Online, just a bit of bragging rights, really. It was a bit tricky, I think, with multi-class when they have to do the reverse grid, because you can't just sort of click at the top and just go boom, reverse them, because I worry that would also reverse the classes as well somewhat on the grid. But yeah, so Kia's all lining up, Mustangs, and of course the Jetters out of the back. Although I have to say, that grid looks pretty mixed to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it does look very mixed. Yeah, Kia's absolutely everywhere. So,
Well,
this is going to be an interesting start.
For the first one. So who's technically got the pole position then?
Tristan Bottas is in pole position, and we're about to get the green light set.
Here we go then. The second race of tonight for the media day. Wow, it's going to be an exciting one. There goes the green light. Everyone's away. Look at that Mustang get a great start off there. So Bottas almost got done by Hall, but then the power of the Kia comes back at them. So yeah, this is going to be an exciting couple of laps. Oh, wide! Couple of cars already. Hall rejoins the circuit. No issues. Bunch of the Kias already fly through and get towards the lead. But yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we've got the reverse grid that we had. That's something that we are going to get. So I believe there was a couple of different rules that they've had in the past where it's been reverse championship order and sort of just reverse grids. So we'll have to wait and see what we get when it comes to round 1 of season 3. Exactly what ruling they've gone for. Yeah,
out front, Tristan Bottas. So did he go off the track? He's lost a lot of position because he was actually on pole. But Ian Roskell, he's actually got off to the best start, and the Kia's just desperately trying to get through the rest of the traffic right now. Actually, there's a bit of a bump between second and third there. Pete Howard just giving Chris Wood a bit of contact there, but yeah, Kia's just trying to make their way through the field right now.
Yeah, you're right, Bottas. He just ran wide, didn't he, on the exit of turn 1, same as Hall did, and that's where he lost all those positions. But yeah, that front little pack scampering away. Hall fairly clear with the Mustang grid, so a bit of a shame because that race was absolutely epic that we had last time, and they've been separated somewhat apart. Atkinson with a problem, spins coming out of turn 1, he's definitely struggling with this Mustang, just getting the power down, it would seem, more than anything, and it can be a bit of a handful. Like I sort of said earlier on, if you carry a bit of understeer in there and you try and boot it around, it has a tendency to loop pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's not an easy car to drive, and yeah, you just kind of dipped a wheel onto the grass and spun up the tyres and span it round, so got a long way to come back now as Stuart.
The Jetters are very much mixed in with the Mustangs at the moment, so Adam Hedgecock leads the way in that class at the moment. He's got Steve Hooper behind him.
So we might have a king for the lead in the Kias here. Chris Wood trying to go around the outside of in Roskell. He might fancy his chances on the downhill section of this circuit, but I think he may just have to fall back in line here. Yeah.
A pretty reasonable run, but like you say, just it's difficult, isn't it, around the outside there? You've really got to commit to it and try and make sure that you can just keep half a car in front as you start to come down the hill, so you've got that run, but still you're in the high ground, goes to the car on the inside for the old hairpin. But looking racy is Chris Wood. He looked quick in that last race as well, so now wants to see if he can get by Roskell.
Yeah, it actually looks like quite a good battle forming up, because Ian and Chris weren't fighting for the lead in the previous race, but of course they're leading this one due to the reverse grid. And Woodhouse and Howard and Kay are going to have to battle their way past, so should be good this Kia battle.
Got the way that they just all scream through there. Right now, a couple of cars have pitted already, so the window is pretty large. So Molina and Robert Lundgren there. So they've decided to get out of the pack pretty early, especially with all of the other cars in and around them. It's only slowing them down, so it makes some sense to get in, I guess, and get some clean air. Now, of course, they are going to get lapped a fair bit quicker than what they would have done before, so guessing they're going to hope some of these Kias get in a bit sharpish as well.
Yeah, that would make sense for some of these Kias, because the front pack is now pack 4, so they're just losing each other time. I would not be surprised if one of them pulls into the pits this time round even to get their pit stop done, and we've got a move for the lead actually. We've got Chris Wood going down the inside, and I think Ian Roskell might lose another position here if he's not careful, to Dennis Melchart going down to the chicane, and Melchart gets the position well there.
Yeah, Dennis just followed through. Chris there, Denny Woodhouse also has a bit of a run. Who's that's gone in? It's Roskell's gone in, so after that poor run I think he's just thought, right, let me get in. I'm not going to lose anything more by coming in, so probably a bit of a sensible move there. Wood needs to try and pull away if he can. Dennis is another quick driver, and we know how quick Woodhouse is as well after putting it on pole in the last race. Stephen Hooper and Adam Hedgecock, they've closed up together, so found each other on the circuit. So good to see the Jetters forming up a reasonable little pack.
Yeah, Jets are sticking very close, and actually the Mustangs are closing in a little bit as well. Whitehead's closing in a little bit on Hall, so that should be a close battle in the next couple of laps. But yeah, Hedgecock.
It was a very strong lap from Whitehead as well, wasn't it? I was looking at 2 seconds quicker than Hall that last lap, so I don't know if Hall made a mistake, but yeah. Right back to you. Sorry, as I interrupted when you were talking about Adam.
No, that was fine. Yeah, Adam Hedgecock just holding off Steve Hooper at the moment. In fact, they've got Kia Roskell now passing now. I think there may have been an impact actually with the wall, so I swear, just something. And yeah, Andrew Whitehead actually, just speaking about him, and from second place he's spun out of the race, and a lot of damage on that car. Yeah,
massive impact. You can see that. So all on the front right hand side. Let's see where it is. It's going to be coming out of here, I think, on the exit. It's very easy to do. Does he just get himself out of shape? Too much on the loud pedal, and boom. It's just nothing you can do when the car starts to you just lose the traction on the rear like that. The car just is, it's almost like Newton's cradle, just carries on going. It's just nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's snarled twice already in this race. Exactly.
What have we lost? I'm thinking we've lost. Okay. Sure, what's going on there? Hall and Atkinson? Where are they? They seem to have disappeared.
Yeah, I can't.
They
find
went into
Atkinson.
the pits, but I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them come out.
Yeah, Atkinson's just gone a lap down actually, and I can't see Hall either. So they must have had Yeah, they've just disconnected. So Yeah, that's very odd.
Connection problems. Now, you were telling me about connection problems earlier on tonight for a fair few drivers with the iRacing Watkins Glen 6 hours. So it's nothing to do with that. It's just a bit of a random occurrence that we lost 2 drivers at the same time there.
And Woodhouse actually trying to attack Melchett now.
And through.
closed.
Actually, it's the other way around. Dennis
sorry,
is
yeah.
Dennis is tucked behind, so he's made it through this lap, and Dennis trying to fight his way back. He needs a good run out of here down the straight if he's going to do it. Woodhouse sort of a little bit more to the middle of the circuit, trying to make it a little bit difficult for Dennis to decide what he's going to do. In the end, he doesn't quite get the run he wanted. Much better
He might
exit
have
out
it
of the
here,
chicane
yeah.
though.
And Woodhouse can't really afford to lose any more time because Chris Wood is pulled away. And he's defended the inside line well there, and he should be able to hang on to it on the downhill section.
Yeah, good line. Like you say, he's got 3 seconds to try and catch up now. Pete Harrod has come into the pits as well.
Yeah, Hart had a good first race, but started 7th in this one and didn't seem to really push up the field at all. So not surprised that he's come in to maybe just mix up the strategy and try to catch up to the guys ahead.
I'm wondering where Pete was lined up on the grid, you know, because the grid was a bit mixed up. Maybe he was right at the back, which made it very difficult.
I think he was 7th. This is saying that he was 7th. And quite a few of the people in front of him, for example, Sean Gardner, who was ahead of him, he started 14th. So I don't know if something happened to Pete at the start or something.
See what Woodhouse does this time in comparison. That still loses 1/10 of a second to Chris Wood. So Chris absolutely flying out there in the lead and carry on pulling away like that. It's going to have a fairly comfortable race. I always think it's good to build up a sort of 5-6 second lead when pit stops are involved, because you just never know what you can lose. You know, a slow stop, or playing it safe on the entry, and you can lose that sort of time. Traffic, all sorts. So yeah, you just want to carry on building. But that said, this is going to be a great lap from Woodhouse. I can already see on the live timing how much he's closed in, nearly half a second on this lap.
Yeah, he is closing quick, and actually they're coming up to a couple of Jetsers on probably the next lap or maybe the lap after. So I wonder if we'll see one of them tuck into the pits here just to avoid any risk of that.
Yeah, it almost to me makes sense for Wood to get in. I wouldn't want to catch those guys up. I think he's got that little bit of a lead at the moment. Get in, get out. Hopefully he's got some clear air when he comes out. But decides to go on for another one. How far up the road are they? Could be quite close.
Yeah, and like you said, Woodhouse half a second fast on that lap, so he is starting to close the gap, and he's going to catch on this lap, Chris Wood, to those VWs, and I imagine it's probably going to cost him, well, up to a couple of seconds. So he needs to be very, very smart here.
He might be alright. Looking at where he is right now, he might. No, he's not. Just catches him before there, so I was thinking get him on the back straight, but get one here up the hill. It's not going to cost him too much time, and then another after Coppice, but definitely has slowed him down just a second. I think Woodhouse could catch them both going down this back straight as well, so he'll have no time loss whatsoever. This will be rather impressive, although he's going to have to go some to get Steve Hooper. I don't think he's quite going to make Hooper. He's going to have to settle in behind the chicane, so actually probably not going to have gained too much through there. Good exit and away, but 1.6 seconds the gap is down to now.
Yeah, 7/10 fast on that lap, so he's certainly benefited from that.
Again, time ticking away on this race. We've almost reached the halfway mark. Worth pointing out that we're only down to 2 Mustangs out there, which is why we haven't really been covering them much at all. Chris White leading the way, and you've got Andrew Whitehead, who has pitted. He got himself a fresh car, so I have to. My overlay crashed, so I'm not sure on who's pitted and who hasn't at this point now. But yeah, so Whitehead has been in. Can you tell if Chris White has been into the pits as well?
Yeah, Chris White, he hasn't pitted, no. So he stayed out, but I think Andrew, after that incident with the wall, I think he's just going to be too far back now to mount any real challenge. Well, one of the battles which is looking quite interesting right now is Alexis Molina, who pitted earlier on, and he's actually going faster than the VW leaders, because he's on a completely different strategy. So he could factor later on in the race, and it's going to be interesting when Steve actually pits, Steve Hooper pits from the lead, where he comes out in relation to Molina.
Yeah, and Hedgecock not far behind him. Woodhouse into the pits then. See how long this particular stop's going to be to compare against the likes of Harrod and Wakefield have been in. We're looking at around about 24 seconds stop. Where is it was Roskell, wasn't he, that he was flying with? Roskell coming into the final chicane now. Still stationary is Woodhouse. And he's away now, but I think Ian's going to get back in front quite comfortably. Yeah, massive lead he's going to have over him as well. So going to have to see what Chris Wood is doing, because when he pits, he could well end up losing a similar sort of amount of time. There's only 1.5 seconds between them, and I tell you, Roskell is a good 5 seconds clear, but actually a really slow stop. Just seen it on the timing.
Yeah, it was 29 seconds, about
yeah.
5 seconds slower than, well, actually 6 seconds slower than Roskell. He had a very quick pit, so I don't know if he, accidentally put some fuel in or what, but yeah, that's cost Mark Woodhouse quite a lot of time there.
So Chris White has been into the pits, and he is now 8 seconds clear of Andrew Whitehead. So actually not as far as I think we thought it might be, but looking at the lap times in the last race, Whitehead was quite a bit quicker. So as long as he can keep it on the black stuff and not make a repeat of what he did about 5 minutes ago, you know, he might have a chance of hunting him down by the end of this race.
Yeah, you might well do. Chris White, yeah, well, actually a whole 2 seconds a lap slower, it seems, than Andrew Whitehead. So I think Whitehead's certainly going to be in the battle by the end of the race with 14.5 minutes to go. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting battle to watch.
Not going to take many laps at all, actually. So like you say, a couple of seconds that time. And Bottas, he is staying out. Wood is into the pits. This is the important one then, because him and Roskell were pretty much side by side when he just got the lead when Roskell pitted. So the definitely jacks up the car. So tyres for Wood.
Yeah, Melchuk came into the pits as well. So I think he might be very close to Mark Woodhouse, I reckon. So both these guys need a good stop here.
Comes in through the final chicane. Wood starting to rev up a little bit. Where is Roskell? There he is, coming down the main straight now. He's going to have the speed and momentum on his side. He's going to be quite clear again. 31.1 seconds for Wood. I mean, that's probably the longest we've seen.
Yeah, he seemed to.
Well, I take it back. It's not the
while.
longest we've seen. Dennis Melcher, 36.4 seconds. What are these guys doing?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. He just seemed to hang around there for about 5-10 seconds with the car not jacked up. So, yeah, I don't really know what's gone wrong for them there, whether they have been taking the all or not. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, Pete Harrod has pitted. He was quite a way behind, wasn't he? We picked up on that earlier on when he pitted early and said, look, you know, he's not been able to make his way forward that much, but he had a 24-second stop, which has been, you know, bang on the money. So he's now just 0.4 of a second behind Roskell. So I think these two are going to be your sort of your net 1 and 2 when they pan out. Bottas is still out there. Sean Gardner's into the pits right now.
Yeah, and if you actually look at Chris Wood's lap times, quite a few of them recently have kind of been in the 1 minute 12s, that range, whereas if you look at Pete Howard's, he's actually been in the 1:11, so he's been a second faster per lap, so that's quite a big reason why he's managed to come back up the grid, but he's actually challenging Ian Roskell very hard now.
Well, to be honest, it's what we wanted to see. So, bring on, guys, get that lead gap down just a little bit more. The Mustangs 2 seconds separating those, so Whitehead is absolutely flying that last lap. He was 2.5 seconds faster, so yeah, crazy. Unfortunately, the Jetters are separated quite a bit. Hooper and Hedgecock. No, 2 seconds between those guys, sorry. And then Molina, who pitted quite a bit earlier, is half a second behind Hedgecock. So actually it's not too bad. Maybe they'll come back together a little bit.
Yeah, I think Hooper just made his pit stop, and Bottas also in the pits right now. It'll be interesting to see what his pit stop time is. In Roskell now going down pit straight, yeah, so Roskell's going to have him. But Bottas is going to be relatively close, so he might come out in 5th place, I believe that is.
Yeah, just behind Chris Wood. So I'm sure Chris is thinking, what have I done wrong here? You know, I pitted with a fairly reasonable lead, and here I am in 4th place, and you know, Bottas not too far behind. But yeah, pretty clear. Woodhouse going to have to show that pace that he had earlier on. So 11.5 last lap. So that's pretty quick. He's going to close the leaders down at that pace. We've still got 10 minutes to go here.
Yeah, Howard can get this move done now because he's actually losing quite a lot of time behind Roskell. He lost about half a second on that last lap, being stuck behind him. Could get the move down here, and yeah, that's the move for the lead. So Pete Howard back into the lead of this race, unless perhaps Roskell can fight back into the chicane, which he's going to go for now.
Yeah, thinking about it. And just sort of tucks back into the line in the braking zone. But yeah, important for Howard to get that move pulled off through Coppice, and yeah, carried the extra momentum out of the corner, placed his car at the inside, and actually I think Roskell knew the gig was up for that corner and just focused on trying to get a good exit to see if he could cut, you know, use the slipstream and cut back in front before the chicane. Couldn't quite pull it off, but yeah, going to maintain that position. And with that one battle, Woodhouse is there.
Yeah, what 1.8 seconds fast, 1.7 seconds fast on that lap than Roskell. So that tells you all you need to know. He's absolutely on fire right now, is Mark Woodhouse. I think he's going to be getting that position any corner now.
Whitehead 0.2 of a second behind Chris White now as well. So all these class battles are starting to form back up, and actually, it gives Chris just a little nudge going through the apex of the corner. Chris gets on the loud power a little bit early, and the back comes around, and that's going to allow Whitehead to cruise on by. And I honestly, Sam, I can't see there being much more of this battle that's going to happen. I think Andrew will just drive away as long as he doesn't make the same mistake he made earlier.
Yeah, he'll be chasing after Pete now. He hasn't really got too far away, and actually, he's got a bit of a run here as Mark on the exit of the chicane, in taking a very, very defensive line, very tight on the inside. He's going to try on the outside. There is Mark.
He's got the overlap. He's going to be able to muscle a little bit of room going down the hill, side by side, going into the old hairpin. Not easy to complete it around there, but around the outside, he throws it in, and actually Roskell very fair, not pushing him wide at all. Yeah, good move by Woodhouse. So 1.7 seconds he's got to make up now towards Pete Howard at the front of this one. And like I said earlier on as well, Whitehead now 2 seconds clear already after one lap on Chris White. So Mustang, I think, is that race is pretty much done now. What's going on in the Jetters? Closest battle to me seems like it's the between second and third, Adam Hedgecock and Alexis Molina.
Yeah, Molina has been behind for a couple of laps now, just trying to find a way past Adam Hitchcock. Steve Hooper has got away a little bit. I'm not sure. And actually, is that another crash just ahead? So, yep, Chris White's just spun it into the barrier, and that's a blown engine as well.
Yeah, blown motor. So massive amount of smoke there. That's race done. So Whitehead, well, he's going to win by default now. The only car to survive.
Ren, did Whitehead crash earlier on?
He did, didn't he? But
Yeah.
he was able to use his fast repair and continue. So just onto the grass for White, struggling to get the car back. And then just spins the inside.
And the Kia leader's now having to drive through a lot of smoke to Pete Howard now just about to pass him. It's not going to be great for the visibility.
No, not at all. As you fly through Coppice, try and avoid that slowdown penalty. Where's the car? That's always the worst thing. You don't want to plough into the back of them. Yeah, they're all going to... I'm fully expecting someone to hit him. No, no one does. But great little battle further back now between Wood, Roskell and Bodice.
Roskell's off.
Roskell having to cut across there. He's going to get himself a nice little slowdown penalty. A boot for that.
Yeah, I think Roskell lost 2 positions on that lap to Wood and Bodice. So, yeah, not good luck there for Roskell. But I wonder if Chris Wood can actually fight for the win, perhaps. He's still quite close to the 2 ahead of him, so you might fancy his chances here.
Yeah, 1.2 seconds. That one corner sort of split them apart a little bit. What was the difference between Woodhouse and Harrod the last time? About a tenth and a half, give or take a little bit there. So it's coming at him slowly. Bit of traffic ahead of Harrod. That might close them up a little bit further. He's going to get by into the uphill section. This is going to be quite close and critical for him. He goes through. Compromises his line a little bit there, and obviously Woodhouse isn't going to be compromised at all, so I think he's going to be well inside the second by the time they get down to the chicane. He's into the draft zone now as well.
Yeah, and I wonder if, of course everyone's changed tyres, I wonder if the guys on fresher tyres who pitted a bit later perhaps will have a bit of an advantage now from now to the end of the race because they got fresher tyres.
Yeah, good point.
And of course that's going to benefit Chris Wood, Justin Bodice particularly. I think Mark Woodhouse as well, he's going to benefit a bit from it, and Pete Howard may be a bit of a sitting duck. So I don't know if that'll be effective because it was only kind of 10 minutes difference, but it could.
It does make a
decide the
difference.
win.
Of course, my vast knowledge of driving the Kia in all of one meeting tells me that they do wear though. You know, the tyres do go off a little bit, but it tends to be like first couple of laps is the sort of when they're great, and then actually they kind of plateau out. So it's not going to be a huge amount of difference, but they do have an effect. So you might be right. Woodhouse definitely pitted later than Harrod did, didn't he?
Yeah, it's about like 6 laps later, I think. So could help him on now to the end of the race. Down to 9 tenths of the lead.
Wood and Bodice working their way through the traffic as well, and Bodice caught back up to sorry, it was Roskell that got slowed down, wasn't it, earlier on? But yeah, it looks like Wood struggling to close in on the leaders. Traffic really just sort of hampered him the last couple of laps. So I think with 3 and a bit minutes to go, it's going to be more between Pete Howard and Mark Woodhouse. Andrew Whitehead in the Mustang, well, he's going to be unrivaled whatsoever. Just needs to carry on racing now, and he'll win this one. Steve Hooper looking very, very strong for the Jetta result. Again, just needs to make sure he navigates the traffic well. Adam Hedgecock still under a lot of pressure from Lexus Molina.
Yeah, in fact, these two are now side by side. Adam Hedgecock and Alexis might get the move here, and he has. So Alexis will be very happy now. He spent must have been about 10 laps behind him ever since his pit stop, but finally gets the move and up into second place now. Yeah,
good job from him. So it's not going to be easy for him to pull away, but and unfortunately I think he's just too far back now. You can see Hooper going through final chicane, so about 5 seconds difference. So in what is 2 minutes 40 seconds, I can't see him getting anything done to close that gap down considerably. Woodhouse still hasn't got Howard. They're still very, very close. Half a second separates them now. So a couple of laps to go. It's really now or never for Mark Woodhouse if he's going to get a win. At the pole position, of course, and lost that in the very before the very first corner of the main sort of race earlier on. In this reverse grid or random grid as it was, really showed that he's done a great job, but just needs to close in and see if he can get Harrod. Two more laps to go.
Yeah, and Howard will know where the overtaking spots are because himself has made plenty of overtakes today. So as long as he defends, it's going to be really tough for Woodhouse to make the move really down to the chicane. And into turn 1 are going to be the main opportunities. And Woodhouse now pushing like mad, but if anything, I think he's lost a bit of time on this lap. It was 6/10, we'll see where it is across the line this time. And it's actually up to 7/10 now, so he lost about 1.5 tenths on that lap. So I'm not sure if this attack is going to pay off for Woodhouse.
They're just going to sneak through actually for one more lap as well, looking at that as they cross the line. We also just saw Tristan Bodis move up to 3rd place as he got a great run out of Coppice into the chicane. So Chris Wood relegated down to 4th place. Molina did catch up on Steve Hooper, but only 0.3 of a second that last lap. So yeah, if he could have got Hedgecock a little bit earlier, might have seen an interesting race. And Woodhouse now 1.1 seconds, so I think maybe he has admitted defeat there.
Yeah, looks that way, so I think only a bit of unlucky traffic, which may actually come up here. Chris White could hold up Howard going into the bus stop here, and actually he has. So this battle's right back on now. He had to be very hesitant. He's going to have to run out this chicane now. Can he even box him in for the overtake? And it's the abreast going down pit straight. Pete Howard trying to make the... Oh, they make contact! Oh, that wasn't pretty, but Howard's... Yeah, lost the position now to... He's now lost the position into 2nd place now.
Well, yeah, Woodhouse up the inside of the old hairpin. That's not easy to do. We've seen a few moves, but still, Howard holds on around the outside. Good driving from Pete. One thing you'll get used to pretty quickly in this series, Sam, is they're not afraid to go door to door. You'll see a fair bit of that. So yeah, I do love a little bit of that. So
he's going to have another chance here into the bus stop. This is the last lap. He's got to go for it here.
Yeah,
surely
you've got to,
Woodhouse
haven't you?
will
His
go for
final lap, he's got a few seconds behind just to play with it. Late move, late on the brakes. Is he going to do it? No, he doesn't. Chicken's out of it. It's all about the exit now then. Got to absolutely nail it on the exit. He does get a better exit.
Run. He's off the track. I don't think he's going to quite do it. It's going to be...
very close.
Pete Howard takes the win.
Yeah, very, very good race between them. Bodis holds on from Wood. Where is the rest of the field? So Whitehead is... I think Whitehead's just finished as well, hasn't he? So he's won that one. Steve Hooper is coming through the final corner now. 4.1 seconds clear from Molina in 2nd place. So good night's racing for Steve Hooper. Molina 0.6 of a head, second ahead of Adam Hedgecock. Stephen Dawson just behind them as well, not too far behind. So that was a relatively close little grid. So just a shame that we lost so many Mustangs in that one.
Yeah, I think did Ruskell have an issue on that last lap? I think he lost quite a few places actually. Yeah, I think Ian had a bit of an issue at the end of that race, so he dropped a few positions down to P9 in the end.
148, you're right. So let's see if we can't throw it back a little bit, just see what happened there. Oh, he's in the pits as well. So
he must have run out of fuel.
Maybe fuel that, because they just sneaked through, didn't they? That was the thing, and yeah, that can be the killer sometimes. Right, mate, take it away with the final results, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, so first position in the Kias, Pete Howard. Second place, Mark Woodhouse. Third, Tristan Bodis. And then Chris Wood, Dennis Melchert, Sean Gardner, Gavin Wakefield, David Crozier, and Ian Roskell in P9. Then in the Mustangs, Andrew Whitehead took the win, really the only guy to have a relatively trouble-free race apart from that spin. Second place, Chris White, and then Michael Hall and Stuart Atkinson. And in the VW Jetters, Steve Hooper taking the win, Alexis Molina in second, Adam Hedgecock in third, and Stephen Dawson and Robert Lundgreen rounding out the field.
Thank you very much for that, mate. Right, we have got Adam Hedgecock. He's jumped in. Maybe want to have a little chat with us. So we'll see how that was for him. Hello, Adam.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Looked like you had a little bit of fun out there on that final race. You and Alexis having a great little battle, pretty much all race long.
Yeah, I think he let me through just after the pits, the pressure up and whatnot. But yeah, I think I was holding him up a little bit. He's a bit quicker than me.
And so the question really I want to ask, obviously you've done the season before in the series. So what's it like? How does the introduction of the Mustang change the dynamic out there?
On a track like this, it's interesting because there's not really anywhere for the Stang to stretch its legs. You know, the Jetta is quicker than the Stang through the corners. So on when we visit somewhere like Okayama, it's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be pretty close. But Montreal, when we go there, I expect the Mustang to be way off in the distance. You know, so I think it's we knew that it would be close. So we've kind of tried to do some tracks where it's going to make it interesting. You know.
Well, I mean, it looked like a lot of fun, to be honest. The grids all look quite close in preparation for this next season. So, you know, I think we're gonna have 3 good classes out there.
The first race, I couldn't believe how close everybody was. There was battles right to the end in every class. It was amazing. Second race, yeah, we kind of got fragmented because of the grid, but
yeah.
You know, hey, well, a bit of fun on a media day, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Right, I'm going to bring Andrew in just for a quick chat as well. Hello, Mr. Whitehead.
Good evening.
Yeah, congratulations on the first race. That was a truly epic battle. And you can't get any congratulations for smashing it into the wall and then being the only car to survive, so picking up the win. That don't count.
I'll take it anyway. You have to be in it to win it, right?
Well, this is it. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, I was just saying to Adam, actually, I thought we're pretty happy with that. I thought that looked like it was a good meeting and sign of good thing to come for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that when we first decided to put the Mustang in, we were a little bit sceptical and we weren't quite sure whether we were being brave or foolhardy. But the cars are just so different, and they work so well together. You know, the Kia's got this immense speed, but it's so awkward around the corners. The Jetta chugs along, but it's like corners like it's on rails. And then the Mustang is right in between the two. It's a lot slower than the Kia and only a little bit quicker than the Jetta. And it corners a lot better than the Kia, but not quite as well as the Jetta. And, so when you get a Kia diving down into the chicane, brakes a lot earlier than you do in the Mustang, and you actually enter the corner at the same speed, and you potentially can get around the corner quicker. So, it makes for such... You're on tenterhooks all the time. It's brilliant.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. Of course, Andrew Woodhouse will be in the booth next week, and I think Adam's even going to do some guest comms as well. Sam's here for the whole season, and depending on whether or not James signs up for the series, it'll be me doing the cameras as well, or it could be James doing some of them as well. So, yeah, lots of people looking forward to covering this one.
But yeah, James has registered.
Thought he might.
Yeah. I kind of get every so often I'll get this message from him on Facebook. Just confirm this for me. How are we doing that? I think he's really looking forward to it. I think he really is.
Well, after tonight, so am I actually. See how it all pans out. So it's going to be good. Right, guys, I'm going to let you disappear. Enjoy the evening. Obviously, we run over a little bit with the delay getting the second session up, but no problem there. And yeah, me and Sam will wrap it up.
Lovely, thank. We will get slicker with the setup, I promise.
No problem.
All right, cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers. All right, Sam. Final thoughts from you before we call this a night.
Yeah, it was well, two fantastic races. The first was like I said earlier, just absolute crazy, really. Bats was going on constantly. Never knew what was going to happen next, and then that second race, just as much mania, really, with a bit of strategy as well in the mix. So it's only looking like it's going to be a fantastic season for the next 10 weeks, I believe it is. So yeah, really looking forward to the rest of this championship.
Yeah, should be good. Just re-echo what you said. I'm looking forward to that. Should be a good crack, and yeah, hopefully we can sort of pick it up and be around about that sort of 25, 30 cars on the grid would be absolutely epic. To have some great racing throughout the different classes. So thank you very much, Sam, for tonight jumping on. Look forward to working with you for the rest of the season, and yeah, we'll be back for the first round of the season, same time next week. For those of you that tune into the channel a lot, next event we've got on, I believe, is the good question now. I think it's the ASRC on Monday night, followed by the Rick as well. So, and then it's back to the BSR Formula Renault for the showdown. So first round of the showdown next week. Which should be interested. And then Thursday night we've back to the BSR Kia Touring Car Championship. So, right. Terrible at closing them. I'm not normally a lead commentator, so I just ramble until people get bored and drop off of the of watching it. And as that's going to happen very, very soon, I will bid everyone a farewell, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks for tuning in. See you then.